Hello, my name is Amanda Harris. I'm currently a business communications student. We were to do a research project on a company that we made up, mine was Harris Incorporated, and pick a country that we would like to expand in. I picked Germany, partly because I am German and I've just always had a fascination with this country. The topics that I'm going to discuss is their current economy, their social customs, business attire, the education system, family life, and lastly, their religion. Now, their economic situation is much like we have here in the United States. It's falling. However, like we've seen here, what falls usually tends to rise again. I have a graph of their gross domestic product. The blue line is where it should be. The gold line is where they actually are estimating it to be. And as you can see, it's already down into the negative numbers, -1. They said that they expected it to drop 6% by the end of this year, which is a huge fall. Now, because of economics, of course, unemployment also will fall. They're expecting 4.6 million Germans to be unemployed by the end of 2009. This here is a graph. Although the blue line is going down, they actually were doing very well. Only 10% were unemployed at the beginning of 2006. However, you can see that it has slowly decreased, but because of the economic time, it is jumping back up very severely. By the beginning of 2009, it was already at 8.5%, and they're expecting it to jump way much more than that by the end of it. Now let's talk about their social customs. Germans are very, very formal people. Introductions are very important. They believe in a strong handshake, and also you must address each person by their full title and surname. Appointments are mandatory. They believe that you should set an appointment up 2 weeks in advance. The first meeting of the interview is an introduction. They want to know who you are, your background, character, and your ethics. If they approve of these, you will have a second meeting. If not, then business just will not be done. America is kind of different. We believe that we tend to have friends with people that we do business to, someone we like, someone we trust. Germans are not that way. They do not believe friendship should have any correspondence with business. They want to look at your credentials. They don't have to like you to do business, but they do want to make sure that you have all the backgrounds you need to succeed in their company. It's very important to always state your rank in business. Are you a president, vice president, executive? They want to know who they're talking to and how you measure up to where they are. They will find much more respect in you if they believe that they are talking to someone that is just at the same rank that they are. Now let's talk about business dress. Again, very formal. Men should always wear suits with jackets. The jackets should not come off during the day unless you are in your office with the door closed. They always believe in looking presentable. Women is kind of the same thing. They believe that you should be wearing suits or conservative dresses. Nothing should be revealing or above the knee. They also do not believe that you should really be wearing jewelry. A wedding ring is fine, but nothing that's distracting. You are not there to, you are not there to impress people, but you're there to impress people with their mind. Now let's talk about business values. Germans are very time-oriented. Everything is planned. They are the planning masters. Everything is planned by the hour. They believe that there are deadlines for everything, and it is frowned upon if one actually stays at work late, because that just means they did not plan their day accordingly. For any American company wanting to expand in Germany, forward thinking is mandatory. It will make sure that they know that you are responsible and dedicated and on the same path that they are. They also believe that there's no reason to change things if it go. Sorry. They believe that there's no reason to change things if it works. It's kind of, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Find something else that you can better yourself on. Find another problem that needs to be resolved. There's many, many rules and regulations in the German business companies. They believe this keeps employees on track so they know their goals, and there's no reason to step outside of these rules and regulations. Also, personal lives and business lives are completely separate. You do not intertwine any of these relationships with one another. Now, the education I found very interesting when I was doing my research. Just recently, in 1999, did they develop both a bachelor's and a master's degree. Now, they also have business schools, which are 2-year programs. They've just kind of divided everything up. It used to just be master's, but they decided that the process was too long and there weren't enough graduates. Now, the business schools are a lot like in America, your community colleges. Once you graduate from this 2-year program, you can go out and get a job. However, these business schools also offer master's programs for the further ahead students. Now, it's very important for one to know if you're going to enroll in a university or a business school in Germany, you must learn German. They do not teach in English, so it's mandatory that you do know the language. Family life is a lot like we have here in America. Both men and women work due to the reason they have to. The home is a place that people can be informal and open up. You are not to bring business home. Business partners should never stop by a house unwelcomed. Home is only for family and friends. It's kind of their safe haven. Marriage. Germans usually tend to marry in their late 20s or not at all. It's not looked down upon to not get married and have children out of wedlock. And family size is relatively small, usually only about 1 to 2 children. Religion. 65% of Germans practice Christianity, which is a benefit for any company from America wanting to expand in that country, because we've already know the values and how to react to anyone in the Christian religion. We already understand the background. But just like our country, there's many other different religions. 33% are Protestants, and you also have Catholicism and Islam. And it's very important to understand the background of all of these. You never want to disrespect someone on their religion, because it is a sure way that a business deal will not go through. So you need to keep an open mind and know who you're talking to and what's the best way of going about and respecting that person's beliefs. Now, in conclusion, I believe Germany would be a great place for any American company to expand. There's not going to be a whole lot of adjusting to do. The two main obstacles that one would have to face would be the language barrier and the economic situation. Now, and with the economic situation, I mean, it's just like it is here. It will rise. It will rise. In the language, I believe that any American citizen going over to work, I believe it should be mandatory that they learn the language. This would be very beneficial in correlations with other business partners and communication. You can't have that huge barrier. We don't want to always have to bring in an interpreter, which, however, if you do not know the language, I suggest that you do bring an interpreter. Thank you very much for listening.